Illumination! Those minions are everywhere. They're like the Boba Fett of the Illumination world. Chris Renaud and Yarrow Cheney direct The Secret Life of Pets. Chris Renaud is popular for directing Despicable Me. He also directed Despicable Me 2. Based on the promotional materials, I guess I was kind of expecting a little bit of a different movie. I see all these billboards around town, The Secret Life of Pets. Wonder what they do all day? How are we gonna take that idea? Like, okay, the owners have left, the pets are at home. Wonder what they do all day. How do you turn that into a feature-length movie? Maybe I was thinking that there would be a little bit more of an exploration of the behaviors that we all know that cats and dogs, exhibit. And they did a little bit of that. Like there was plenty of cat humor, dog humor. Oh yeah, dogs do that thing. And oh yeah, cats do that thing. Maybe I was expecting a little bit more of sort of when the owners are gone and you explore why the pets are doing these things. Maybe a little bit more like the vacuum video.
I should warn you of the monster known as vacuum. It can eat and yell at the same time. To hide from vacuum, you may use the curtains of invisibility.
In fact, this actually felt a little more like Toy Story. Actually, a lot of the movie reminded me of Toy Story. In Toy Story, you have toys that when the owner leaves, the toys come alive and they have their own little thing. In this movie, you have pets. The owners leave and they kind of have their own little thing. And the main character, Max, and this new character, Duke, they get separated from their owner, and then it's sort of a journey to get back home. Max and Duke, throughout the course of the movie, they end up running into this band of sort of underground animals that hate humans, they dislike their owners, and then you have the pets, the animals that like their owners. Again, going back to Toy Story, it reminded me a lot of when Buzz and Woody get trapped in Sid's house. So you have these toys that have been mistreated by Sid. And in this movie, you have pets that have been mistreated by their owners. They have this animosity towards humans, whereas you have this other camp of pets where all they know is the good treatment by the humans. And so that's kind of where the main conflict of the film comes in. There was a litany of comedic voice talent in this film, from Louis C.K. playing the lead role of Max to Eric Stonestreet, Kevin Hart, there was Jenny Slate, there was Ellie Kemper, there was Bobby Moynihan from SNL, there was Hannibal Buress was in the film. Who else was in the film? Oh, Albert Brooks was in the film. Lake Bell. And Dana Carvey also voices a character. I remember turning to my fiance in the theater and going like, I think that's Dana Carvey. The voice work in this movie I thought was very good. I do think that Kevin Hart is kind of always Kevin Hart. Like every time I see him, it's like, that's Kevin Hart. This young whippersnapper Kevin Hart, certainly not having any trouble booking. His voice was the one voice that I think kind of brought me, like, I stopped believing that he was the character that he was, and I was just picturing Kevin Hart behind a microphone in a booth somewhere. See, the problem is I got half my money in savings, the other half in checking. Now, the thing is,
I got a checking in the savings, but all the money is in my savings. So I got to switch it to my checking.
I find that the challenge of being a voiceover artist is becoming the character and bringing unique choices to the character and making the character his or her own thing without sort of leaving the audience with a vision of your face in their brain the whole time. And I thought that most of the cast did that quite well. There is something to be said for a voiceover performance pulling you out of the movie rather than allowing you to settle into the story. That's a challenge to the voiceover artist that I very much respect. The movie really did have a lot of potential, but overall I kind of ended up feeling like, meh. I mean, it was not a bad film. The comparisons to Toy Story going along with that same idea, I know I probably shouldn't keep doing that. Buzz Lightyear went through a lot in Toy Story. He started off the movie thinking that he was a real astronaut. He was a real cosmonaut, a real space ranger. Going on this journey of realizing that you're a toy, you're one of millions of toys, and how he dealt with that, and watching his character change throughout the course of the movie gave you the feels. You had the opportunity to do a similar thing here. There was room for these characters to grow and change and learn something from one another and learn something about the world around them. It just sort of felt fine. The movie felt fine. It was a little too safe, little too stakeless, I should say. Not a whole lot of risk was taken. It was just sort of, here are the beats to the story. Yay, now the story is over. It was an enjoyable experience though. I did laugh. There's plenty of humor there for the adults, plenty of humor there for the kids. I found myself enjoying this time at the theater, so I would say if you want to see it, go ahead and check it out in the theater. It's not a bad film. If you go into it not expecting a tearjerker, not expecting a terribly deep movie, I think you're going to have a really good time with The Secret Life of Pets. So guys, The Secret Life of Pets. Did you see the movie? What did you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video and you want to see any more of my ramblings about movies, you can always click right there to subscribe.
That's why I laugh when I get auditions for like Cartoon Network shit or Nickelodeon or Disney, because I can just imagine the trailer to that.
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick, you know, Kevin Hart, Anna Valverde. I'm like, what the fuck is Anna Valverde? You know?
There were a lot of fun pop culture references. There's one reference which I was like, that's Mario Kart? Is there a Mario Kart reference in the movie? A lot of voice work for the Disney movies that were around when I was a child. It wasn't like they weren't names. They weren't voices that you were familiar with. They just sort of did the voices. But I do remember thinking like, Aladdin sounds a lot like DJ's boyfriend. Is that DJ's boyfriend? Oh my goodness. Oh, look at this.
That's our baby. He's amazing.
She's amazing.
Adopt black cats. They will change your life.
Apparently superstitions have a pretty strong hold on human beings because black cats don't get adopted as much as other cats. She's probably crossed my path many times. Hundreds of times.
Yes.
I don't think I'm having any misfortune.